Hello and welcome back to the Man United Agenda, and it is Monday night, and the rumor is Antony is at Carrington Training Ground. So guys, if you're new to the channel, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hello everyone, and we are back. It is a bit strange being back though, but before we go and we talk about our weekend, let's introduce the panelists tonight. And Mr. B, sir, how you doing?
Good as always, man.
Pat?
Weekend's nearly finished.
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's not the same without being in the Omundi Juma hot seat, but it'll do. It'll do.
And Omundi Juma, as it is, sir, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, feeling good. Got to be positive about things, whether it's the Man United Football Club, whether it's Man United Agenda, whether it's just life in general. Feeling good, man. It's great to have Pat over at the weekend. We had some good times. I took him into the heart of Harlesden, and he was right in the ghetto, and he felt right.
He survived. He survived basically.
Yeah, wait till I tell you a story, right? They brought me in, and they said, "Let's get something to eat." And I said, "Lads, I'm not really that hungry, but come on, I'll go." Right? Bring me into this Caribbean shop. Smelt delicious. I said, okay, I can't not have something to eat. I said, just get me a bit of jerk chicken, bit of rice. Nothing too big, lads, okay? So none of the way a plate comes out when it's round. All right. This came out like a boat. All right. And do you know the way in a Chinese restaurant, you fill the little cereal bowl up full of rice and you go, would you like this? Well, this was a soup bowl full of rice. 2 breasts of chicken, and I was like, "Would you stop? You must have given me a Omundi Juma plate."
Gave me the wrong plate, innit?
They had to carry me out, drag me out like this.
But like Bruno, he did finish his dinner.
He did. No, but
you know what? Let me say this. We look cool. There's 3 of us walking through Harlesden. We look cool. We have people coming up to us in the street. You know, even asking us, "Are you CID? Are you police or something?" You know,
larger and larger.
We walk past these guys and they accuse us of being police, and we asked them for directions, and they said that the roti shop is down there, but it was closed. So on the way back, we're thinking, how are we going to go back without any rotis at hand? You're going to think you're definitely policeman, you know.
I only afterwards I talked to myself. I should have walked back up to them and whoop whoop. It's a
Oh god.
Wow. It was good times, and hopefully we can do this again, make it a regular thing to get all the family together like that, man. It was quality.
Yeah, it was quite nice as well, and we're not going to go through too much with Omundi, but moral of the story is, I spoke to him in the morning. He went, "I'm going to meet Pat at the airport." I was like, "All right then, cool, no problem." Got into work. Pat messaged me, "I am in, I'm on the train." I was like, "On the train? Omundi's picking you up." Anyway, Pat turned up where I work. Omundi rang me saying, "I'm at the airport. I don't know what happened. His train must be delayed." I put Pat on the phone, and Pat was like, Omundi was going, "What?" Long story. That's it.
It cost me £16 for parking. All right. So I'm going to send you my bank details, Pat. You owe me.
Absolutely brilliant. But guys, now it was absolutely a pleasure meeting Pat. Also got to give a big shout out to Paddy as well. Turned up with his suit in a bag, which didn't get out. I thought he was going to sit there and try to go up against me to see who was dressed best, but he didn't pull his suit out. Very disappointed in that, Paddy, if you're watching. But guys, we're going to kickstart the show after our absolutely amazing weekend we had. Mr. B, next time, hopefully you'll be with us. You can join us next time.
As long as it's not on a Saturday, it's all good.
Yeah, but the problem is Pat's slightly taller than you, so yeah. Paddy did come up with one nice or good joke though. Paddy turned around and went, Paddy must have gone into his pocket and said, "Mr. B, man, come on, man, come on." I sat there and I was going, "Oh, Paddy."
I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying
Mr.
a
B,
word.
you were missed. We were asking
you
for
were.
you. Especially
You were
Pat. Pat was saying, "Where's Mr. B? Where's Mr. B?" You know,
we're gonna go around banging on your windows.
Oh, brilliant. So, guys, listen, if you're new to the channel, 20 in the chat already, we really appreciate all the support. Just give us a subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're not new to the channel, let's give us a like. So first things first, guys, we're going to go into this Antony deal. And obviously, I don't know if people saw it so far today on the CCTV, him at Carrington, rather than introducing himself, he actually physically looked up at the camera, the CCTV camera, and started waving at everyone. So deals, done deal. Just waiting for medical and also work permit. I'm going to say Ten Hag got one of his men so far through the window. Probably a bit pricey at 85 million. I know Mr. B spoke to us the other day about the net spent over the last 3 years has been about 60 million. It looks like United's going to spend over 200 million in this transfer window for the first time. So, Mr. B, Antony to Manchester United, Ten Hag, good signing?
Come on now. You don't need to ask me that. I've been dancing all day. I'm so glad. I'm over the moon. Absolutely over the moon. Malaysia and the players he's brought in have shown the attitude, the new attitude that we wanted at the club. And I think this is only going to enhance it. He already knows Ten Hag's system. Ten Hag already knows his mentality. I think it's a perfect fit. Yeah, we paid a lot, but let's not get it twisted. These are the prices that we should be paying for players every season anyway. We generate enough money to do it. So spend away. Spend away.
Yeah, and Pat, like Mr. B is saying, spend away with it. This deal seems like it wasn't going to go through until Antony publicly had an interview regarding his desire to play for Manchester United, play for Ten Hag. Obviously, Ajax has got rid of a few players so far this season, so they've just sold United their prize assets to us. So now he's at Manchester United. What does it mean for the other players who plays in this position? Because it's going to be a tough ask now for some of these guys. Got to, for the first time in a long time, fight for their places.
Well, if this Antony lad is anything like what Mr. B just said about Malaysia, Martinez, Ericsson, if he's as mentally strong as them three boys, and this is part and parcel of what Erik ten Hag is bringing to our club, and unfortunately, he had to fight for his right to party by sitting out a few training sessions, all right, to get what he wanted. But he's got what he wanted, and I'm happy he did, because if he had just sat there in the background and had to play another season, maybe he might not have been happy. Maybe he asked a couple of times, he knocked on enough doors and nobody listened. And sometimes, well, look, sometimes you have to fight a bit dirty to get what you want. And this lad progressively has got better in the last couple of years. For somebody who plays out on the right wing, he's had 11 goals the year before. 12 goals the year before in all competitions and 11 the previous year. That's not bad for a winger. He can play up top, but it wouldn't be a preferred choice. Do I like him? Yes, I like him. He's silky. He has the dribbles. He has that flair to get us up off our seat and get everybody excited. So I'm more than happy to see him here. So
I was gonna, sorry, Pat. I was going to talk about being flair. I was going to talk about him fearless taking on players to OMONDI, because obviously I know OMONDI will be talking a lot about him on the eye test. I know OMONDI put up some clips about him the other day as well. And like what Pat said, he's sort of a player that will get people off their seat because of the way he plays, the way he runs with players. And this is something when we look at our forward players, the only person who probably possessed that is Jadon Sancho. Now, if you have Jadon Sancho and him running at players, these defenders, the Premier League's got a lot to worry about, haven't they? Some of these players in the Premier League.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Erik ten Hag, because he's pursued a player and has been backed. He's clearly been backed. Remember what happened with Moyes? They didn't really back Moyes with the transfer market, and you can see what's happening here. He's pursued Antony. Doesn't worry about the money. They bought him. Secondly, I just want to talk to all the rival fans out there who are trying to give us stick about the amount of money we spent on players. There's a thing called United tax. We do get rinsed, but you have to think about it. Everything's relative, isn't it? We're a big earning club. We generate a lot of money. So granted, sometimes we pay a little bit extra for players, and unfortunately we do that. But this is different. I think with the signings we're making, they're going to be first team players. If we look at all the big money signings we've had, they're usually first team players. They stay in the first team. Unlike Pepe, for example, at Arsenal. They spent big money on him, and he's on the bench or struggling to get on the bench. So I think you have to look at this and say, all right, granted, it's a lot of money, and people can be confounded by things like that. But we are a big club, and so I think it's just all relative like that. And obviously, I'm not going to get into an argument with people over stupid things like that either, because we're a big club. We spend big, we deal with big things, and we've got a big player. You're talking about Sancho and Antony. They're both creative. They're both similar players, as in they're team players. They're not going to burst the wing and sort of try to run down the wing, do Andre Kanchelskis or Ryan Giggs. They're going to be holding up the ball, bringing other people into play, and linking up triangles, that kind of thing. We're going to see a lot of team play, which is important. And players like that have a lot more IQ, I believe, than just straight runners like Elanga or Rashford in that mode. So we can mix it up. We've got different type of balance now, and he's left-footed as well. So it's marvelous, So let's just see. You said about the eye test. I haven't seen the eye test. He hasn't played for Man United as yet. But when I have seen him, I could say he's a physically good specimen. Got a bit of bad skin, a bit like Tevez. Maybe he needs to sort that out. But the Manchester skies ain't going to help that with that much. Needs a bit of sunshine. But otherwise, I'm curious to see. I don't want to build up the expectations, I don't want to hear about his price tag either. If he has a poor start, whatever, I don't want to hear about the price tag. I'm going to look at him as a player, and I think we should all judge him as a player and how he fits into Man United. Mr. B made a great point saying he probably knows the system. He's worked with Ten Hag before. So I'm optimistic, and I'm not. Money doesn't come into it. I just want to see him as a player and how he fits and how excited he's going to be. Another thing Mr. B said was Malacia and Martinez, two of our other signings so far, as well as Ericsson. They've been brilliant. So this one, I'm expecting, by that track record, I'm expecting this one to be brilliant too, and blend in like a duck to water.
Yeah. And Pat, I was just going to go back on sort of what Omundi was talking about there, with obviously the money. He doesn't want to hear about the wages, not the wages, sorry, how much money we pay for the player. It's now Man United go out and sign the player, and all of a sudden, obviously, the media gets it, rival fans talk about it. But again, I'm going to go back to Mr. B. It's money that Manchester United as a club has generated themselves. It's not if the owners are actually giving the money. So surely, for the size club we are when it comes to sort of the commercial value, Mr. B said it's the players we should be going out. Or is it a case of, yes, we've got Antony, I'm happy we've got Antony, but is it a case of try to go for players probably on less money? Because obviously with the Antony deal, it was a saga where he was valued at like 35, 40 million, and all of a sudden now we're paying almost 100 million euros for him.
If we couldn't generate the cash, we wouldn't be splashing it, lads. That's the way it works. And the United tax comes with it. I'm not concerned about Antony's price tag for the simple reason that when he arrives to Manchester United, he's not getting straight into that squad in any way. I don't think Eric Ten Hag works like that. It's going to take a game or two and a couple of substitutes before he gets into that team. So he's only going to get cameos, and he's only going to get eased into the squad. I'm not saying that Antony Elanga is better than him.
Don't tell me that. Arsenal are coming up. I want Antony at least. I want Antony at least on the bench for the Arsenal game.
He'll be on the bench, Mr. B, but he won't be starting. He'll get a nice cameo of a second half appearance. But from what I've seen after the Liverpool game, for the Southampton game, Ten Hag sticks with who played well, who deserves to play the next game, and look, he's not going to keep sticking by players if they're not playing well. They'll be hooked straight out. You'll see that big wooden stick coming in. Off you come, boy. And it's good to see a bit of depth to come in and step in there. And the same with the midfield now. We're talking about Ericsson, Malacia, Martinez. We haven't even spoke about Casemiro yet because he's getting eased into the team nicely. Yeah. And you'll see him work his way into the team as well.
And again, there, Mr. B, you can pick it up from there as well with the whole thing with Casemiro. It's like what Pat said. The players who played against Liverpool deserve to start. So that's exactly what he's done. And I think with going into probably, say, the Arsenal game, I don't think it's too early for Antony to come into the Arsenal game. If anything, you might see Casemiro get sort of, it depends on how Scott is looking, whether or not Scott's going to be fit or not for that game, who gets in.
Let's not get it twisted, please.
We know.
There's levels to this shit, yeah? And we have just bought a Lamborghini, bruv. So please, we're playing Arsenal. I don't want no sentiment. I don't want no blah, blah. if they have to pay Scott McTominay to say he's injured, pay the man to say he's injured. I don't want him anywhere near the starting team for that Arsenal game.
Oh, he
I
will
know
be.
that's too good.
He will be.
He will start.
He's gonna be.
It's going to be in my solo 11 as well.
No,
He will be.
I'm not on that show because you're going to get ridiculed. I swear. I'm going to be doing it from the chat.
Oh, God. And Monday, last thoughts on it? Whether or not, obviously, Antony is going to get straight into this team.
I don't know. Like Pat said, he kept the same team, didn't he? Winning team that we had against Liverpool for the game against Southampton, and that was testament to the players. It shows that if you play well and you win, you might have an opportunity to remain in the side. Elanga's someone I thought would struggle to stay in the side, and he stayed in the side. Like you say, I think every game in the Premiership, as he's witnessed already, is different. You have to approach it differently. So maybe there is an argument to say Casemiro or Antony, if he's available, plays in one of these games this week. We got a big week on the Man United agenda based on having 2 games, one on Thursday, one on Sunday. And they're both massive games, I believe. Leicester, so we just don't know what they're going to do. And Arsenal are flying high at the moment. So this is the real test, and this is what you got to love about the Premiership. And we're back in it, boys. Remember that summer? Remember in the summer we were like living. We were waiting for a game. It was dry. We were just trying to scrape the bottom of a barrel, trying to get some content out there. Now our bellies are full with great football and great signings, and enough things to talk about. So I'm excited right now. I just want to witness it all.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go to some of the comments. 56 in the chat. If you're new to the channel, guys, please give us a subscribe. It does help the channel to grow. We are on the road to 2.5k subscribers. So what we'll do is there's a few newbies in the building, but on Monday is basically going to read out some of these comments, guys. So bear with us. If we can't get through all of them, we will try our hardest.
Big up to TalkMU. He's saying hi to Jordan as well, all the way from
Clarendon,
in Jamaica. I want to say hi to Rebel as well. I'm not going to read that because Rebel's wrote basically an essay here, and I won't be able to read it all, but I think you guys should read it because Rebel's always the guy with the sources, information. He said, window's done. I'll read the first one because there's 4 of these big paragraphs. Antony, the keeper, that won't play 5 times for us, meaning Dubravka, this season. Going into the last door, seems like the Glazers' plan is to make Ten Hag make do with the Williams and Delos as cover. Okay. I want to say hi to FC United Forever, and she is saying, evening Rebel, message lads, had a busy day Chinese booty shopping. Does anyone know what Chinese booty shopping is?
I'm not going to get involved. I probably got
don't ask Mr. B.
I'm not asking nothing.
It's on the tip of his tongue. He wants to say something funny. Anyway, let's move on. I saw you. SHAH saying Antony is in the building, triple A's. Who would that be? Alanga and Martial. Yeah. The booty, Chinese booty. I want to say hi to Gakpo as well. Football United TV. Go and check out his show. Did a show earlier. I watched that with Anthony Herbert and others. Really good show. And TalkMU. Bill Baggio as well. How you doing, Bill Baggio? And Eddie is here. So let's get into the content. Oh, sorry. Finally, Stuart Marshall. How you doing, Stuart? Now, Stuart goes to the games. And I've seen some fantastic pictures, images of him at Southampton. So you get up and down the country. You're a servant. I salute you, man, for the cause, for our team. Gopal saying, why do we let Henderson, the goalkeeper, go? Now we got Dubravka. Simply baffling, he says. KHD Gamer saying, can't wait for Antony to do 20 step overs and 20 nutmegs in a game. Paddy's saying, great signing. Let's not forget that. So big up to Paddy. He made his way down to London the weekend. Anthony Herbert saying, big up, lads. Seeing you all around Omundi's gaff. It was great to see. Yes, everyone was there apart from Mr. B. Eddie was saying, I'm hungry to see a winger dribble. He's better do some dribbling, Pat, says Eddie. HG Gamer said, I watched a lot of Antony in the Champions League in the group stage last season. Want to say hi to Steve Fletcher saying, if Gordon is 60 million plus when he's still unproven, then Antony's a bargain. Gopal saying, Premier League not ready for Antony and Sancho. Paddy is saying, if with these two recent signings, I will give a prediction that we will beat Leicester and beat Arsenal as well. I'd love that. I would love that with a bit of ruthless aggression. Eddie saying, I disagree with the United tax nowadays. Liverpool spending 100 million. Man City spending 100 million on one player. Everyone gets taxed nowadays, he feels. HD Gamer saying Antony's a bit different from Sancho. Antony has a lot more pace. I think they're about the same in the foot race. FC United saying, go and look at the footage of I've seen this today. Malacia against Antony. He was on him like a rash. This was Feyenoord against Ajax last season.
He got sent up. He got a red card. Yeah.
So it's just credit to both guys, really. Well, one guy especially. Emma's saying Sancho needs to get his fitness up. I swear he's faster last season. There's a lot of people saying that, isn't it? Bath time saying, "All right, lads, in it, yes, in it." Bath time with Warren. Don't forget Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Smashing it.
Newbie to the channel.
Alex is saying it's not over till it's over. He's saying De Jong is in town. A couple more here. Incompetence with this transfer fees, utterly stupid, and could have been managed better. That's from Paddy. I want to say hi, Petty.
Welcome to the channel.
Says yes, good. How you doing, man? And KG Gamer said, I thought Martinez would take off a bit of time unless we fully see him play. But here we are 4 starts into the season. Yeah. And finally on Casemiro, Bartram saying Casemiro's 10 minutes against Southampton was utterly dreadful.
This one is a good one, I think, there on Monday.
Oh, Stuart Marshall, yeah, I missed that. So McTominay did a good job against the Saints. As much as I'm not a fan of it, he deserves to start against Leicester. So there you go, Mr. B.
Robbie, welcome.
Big up Robbie Norman, man. How you doing? Guys? And SHAH as well. Big up SHAH. There's loads of comments. Mike Morgan as well is here. Mike saying, I need Antony to come to United. And he's also saying, please, you tell me about Antony. Has he come or not yet?
He's in Carrington as far as we know.
He's in the video. There's a video going around on Twitter about him smiling at the camera and waving. So, yeah, he's here. He's definitely here.
Okay.
And finally, the Tret setter, she's doing a world tour. It's in the town of Ronaldo in Slovenia or Slovakia.
Slovakia, big up.
Oh, wow. Knows everything about geography. She travels. She gets around.
She travels the world. Guys, 51 in the chat. If you're new to the channel, give us a like and subscribe. So we're just going to be talking about Gakpo and Depay. So we're just going to go through these ones, guys. Obviously, the possibility Ronaldo might be leaving. It's the Ronaldo saga again. So, guys, United, there's rumors that there was a bid turned down. Southampton went in for him and it was turned down. Is he likely to come to Man United? So we're going to just talk about him and Depay, if both of them are likely to come to Manchester United, or is it just another story selling? Let's go to Pat.
Who put a bid in for him again?
I believe Southampton did, and it got rejected.
Well, they're a good club. They seem to buy good young up and coming players. Me and Mr. B were having a chat about Memphis Depay earlier on, and like a couple of things Mr. B said to me, it kind of hit home. Like Depay has left United. He's gone away. He's got a bit older. Is that what we really need, or do we want somebody younger coming in who's going to be working in there, who's got goals in them, who's going to be improving? So I looked up this young lad, Gakpo, and not last season, the season before that, he got 11 goals. So that's not too bad. Last year, he got 21 goals in all competitions. So, and he's got 4 so far this year. So that's impressive for a young lad who's starting out. So to me, he's on the up and not on the decline. And that's what that's the difference between him and Depay. So I'd be more inclined to go for Gakpo than I would be Depay.
But I'm going to throw out there, Mr. B. I know you two were having that conversation, but if he comes, Depay, he comes on a free, and
it won't be a free.
With the,
I don't think it's gonna be a free. I think he's gonna come with a fee. But look, we'll word it as a free, and then we'll see where we go from there.
A free is still a signing on fee of 15 million, isn't it? So it makes no odds.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Mr. B.
Yeah, don't be paying him 15 million to come. All he's going to be doing is putting more lights in these music videos. I'm not interested. I don't want the pirate.
We don't need that. Yeah, we don't need that.
No, we don't need all of that. We've got rid of Jesse, not necessarily for that reason, but he's more
trouble than it's worth.
Yeah. I just.
Don't you think though, like he went to Manchester United, and obviously it didn't work out first time round, and it's almost like a second chance. I always say to people about second chances, couldn't
That's
it
the
be
problem.
he's gone away and thought to himself, you know what, I let myself down being probably one of the biggest clubs in world football, and I didn't really and truly produce the quality I could have. I can probably go back there and sort of like right the wrongs that I did.
Right, but he's not going to be a first choice. So what's he coming back for?
Squad. We remember how many competition we're in.
No, I can't see if he wants to go to the World Cup or be involved in that, he's going to be a squad player to be behind Sancho, who you know is going to start ahead of him. Martial will start ahead of him. Rashford will start ahead of him. Nah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
He's not coming in as a pro to me, who's going to set standards and examples to young lads when he comes in looking like bleeding.
Well, we don't know what he's looking like these days.
Impact in a 40 jacket when he first walks in. He wears all these ridiculous clothes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
We've got another Dele Alli on our hands. No.
But on Monday, like squad, like we're playing in Europa League, we're going to be playing FA Cup, we're going to play League, and I know where the money is on who we should probably go for. But if that transfer is not possible, do you think we should try and get Depay in?
Yeah, I think Depay is a good player. When you look at like top players, I think the only thing that's tarnishing our mindset here is that he's played for us before and maybe didn't work out, but he was a lot younger then, and since then he's had a rap career which flopped, but his football's improved. He's played for Lyon, he went to a club which was good. I think that was a good move for him, going to somewhere like Lyon. He was the main man, and he suddenly he was sort of playing left wing, right inside forward, and suddenly became a striker, and he's probably Holland's #1 striker at the moment as well. So internationally, he's #1. He can smash it in the World Cup. He's playing at Barcelona Football Club. They wanted him. They played him. He's got a lot of skill. He can drive with the ball. He's strong as well. He's he can do things out of the blue. He's got that a bit of brilliance about him as well. So I think, why not? We're a bit short for number 9s. He can play as a number 9, and I would welcome him back. Strictly because he's one of the top players, and I'm not even thinking about, look, I said that I don't worry about the price for Antony, but I'm saying to you guys now, for 10 million for a player that's in his peak, 28 years old, something to prove, to come back, he's got an ego. I think that's a very, very good signing, and I would definitely have him because of the factors that you said about having a long, there's going to be a long season, there's going to be a lot of games. I think the rotation will be important. And as Jackie said in the comments, which we'll come to later, Ronaldo might not be there. So all these signings that we're talking about, Gakpo, Depay, they're in forward positions, which maybe should be compensation to say, let's get these guys in, let's get them in first, and then Ronaldo, we can let him go if that's what the story is really about. We're soon to find that anyway. But I'm a big endorser. Memphis Depay is a great player.
But he's one of is it Gakpo or Depay I'd like to have him Monday? That was my answer.
I would leave Gakpo. To me, he's a long string bean, and I don't think he's good enough. I think he's sort of player who would come here and not really have that effect. I look at his face, I look him in the eye, and I don't see the eye of the tiger there.
The eye tests don't work for you.
Rangers boot them out of the Champions League, so you'd think the price would be cheaper now because they're not playing Champions League, are they? Rangers top them. Yeah. I just don't think he's the sort of guy who can turn it over and be a step up to that next level. I don't see that in him. He looks a bit like he's playing in Dutch football is good for him. He's happy with that. But if he comes to the Premiership with that long, tall frame, and I want to go and see Vincent in a second because our Dutch correspondent could be slapping me in my face saying that I'm wrong here. But he's saying in Holland,
it's on cue.
Dutch correspondent Vincent, and he always comes in with
thank you, Vincent,
about Dutch football, things we don't know about. So thanks for tuning in. You got my call to bail me out when of my speech, and you're agreeing with me. You're saying in Holland we believe Gakpo needs a year to wait a year to develop, but Antony has the arrogance that might work. The Depay is now less flash and more mature. So there you go. I was correct with my insight. There's no connection here. We're not connected. But as you can see, just to go again, I've been proven right.
Brilliant. Thank you, Vincent. Appreciate that as well. Absolute brilliant. Thank you as always. Dubravka, if I'm pronouncing his name right. So Newcastle player this season 2 years, I think 2 years running, or I can't remember. I think it's 2. He had it twice anyway, just like our own keeper, David De Gea. So quick one. I think he's like in his like 30s. He's like 32, 33 years old. 33 years old. I spoke to someone today who's a Newcastle fan, and he said to me that he's a good keeper. He's good at with his right foot, left feet. He can pass the ball out, but he's got a mistake in him. But also rated him higher than Pope. But the problem is, he reckoned as the manager is English, Nick Pope would have probably stand a better chance, and he was probably guaranteed to be starting for Newcastle in his contract. The reason being is because of him going to be England #1. So, guys, in the chat as well, get involved. Would you like to see him? Because obviously Man United is going to loan him apparently, and it's going to be probably about 5 million if we were to sign him. The gentleman I spoke to today said he'd be gutted if we actually physically, if they get rid of him, because he's a good keeper. Omundi, eye test. I know you all about the eye test with David De Gea. And also, I know some people, before I go into again, Omundi, some people will probably say, is he good enough to challenge David De Gea? Or is it a message we're putting out to David De Gea that, listen, the position's yours?
All right. Like you said, I mean, I love it when you set up a question and you basically tick all the boxes that I was going to answer. Yes, I love it because it makes my life easier, Errol, and it makes me look bright. I just say this about the keeper. Yeah, I know Rafa Benitez, and I really rate Rafa Benitez, but Rafa Benitez talks highly about him. He signed him for Newcastle United. Remember, they stayed up. They had a few. They had a relegation issue. They had a poor side. This is under the previous ownership, and Rafa Benitez has done a great job there. Really sort of struggled with signing certain players, getting them in, and one of the ones was the goalkeeper. So they brought him in, and he proved to be a top Premiership goalkeeper. Now you're talking about issues. I think what we got with De Gea, there's an issue there that Ten Hag can't play the way he traditionally wants to play, about playing the ball out from the back, the distribution. So you do need a keeper in there that has those sort of skills about him. I don't know too much about the goalkeeper, Dubravka. All I know is a good presence. He's a big keeper, good, good coming out, claiming crosses, that kind of thing. I don't know about his kicking, to be honest. I don't know. That's something we're going to have to look into. But if the manager wants him, with the manager's track record so far with Martinez, with Malacia and Ericsson looking really good on the football pitch, and maybe Casemiro, we know he's going to play well, and Antony, that's 5 players there. I'm sure the goalkeeper won't be too bad. And if it's on loan, it means we're not spending stupid money on someone. He could probably get some games. Whether you take over from De Gea, I think it's down to the manager. That, like I said, every game is different. It's what you need from. You need different personnel against different teams, I imagine, and we'll see that with this tough week, Thursday and Sunday, when we've got tough games that we have to win.
Mr. B.
I told you already. Take him. Everybody needs pressure. Tom Heaton obviously has been seen not to be good enough, or he would have kept him as the number 2. So take him out. And Rebel asked earlier on how much games I think he'll play. He'll probably play quite a few Europa League games. Yeah. To be honest, I think he'll play 10. It might not be league games, but he'll probably get 10 games. He'll probably get 10 games on there.
Yeah. With that, with Mr. B saying there, Pat, with the keeper situation, could it be a case of he's going to be how a lot of clubs play one keeper in Europe and one in the Premier League? Could he be the goalkeeper that play in the Europa League and probably say the League Cup? And what will happen is see his performance throughout the season over the tournament, and then he could possibly come next season, sign for the 5 million and number 1.
No, I think he's just a stopgap signing for Erik Ten Hag, unless Erik Ten Hag sees something in this fella or knows something of his background that we don't know about. But I highly doubt that he's going to come in and knock David De Gea off his perch all of a sudden and take his place. I think he's just a stopgap until Erik Ten Hag sees value in the market of a good young player of the description of Alisson or Edison to bring into Manchester United to build them up and get what he wants, because you can't just go out and sign every player he wants this season to to complete the squad. So some players are going to have to be stopgap, especially for a loan deal like that.
Okay. So, wow, all right. We've seen some breaking news apparently. Guys, 59 in the chat. Guys, if you're new to the channel, just give us a subscribe. There's 45 likes. Can we see if we can hit at least 60 likes before we come off the channel, guys? On Monday, there is like something to be read, but we'll read it after we do some of the comments. Sorry, you know what? Let's do it before we do the comments. It's this bit here.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk about Gakpo here. Man United are set for a busy few days with targets still to get over the line ahead of the summer transfer window deadline, which is on Thursday night. Don't forget to tune into Man United Agenda. We were doing a live deadline show. Another Dutch division item of interest in a Dutch-infused summer for the recruitment of Manchester United is the PSV's Cody Gakpo, another winger with significant potential. The 23-year-old may still even be a target, even though Antony deal is completed, with Ten Hag looking for plenty of options with his forward line. Despite some reports suggesting Antony's signing would put United off going for Gakpo too. Gakpo has been linked with plenty of clubs, including Everton, but admittedly this week that United have shown concrete interest in his services. He told ESPN, Antony to Man United, nice for him. But for me, my future, I think, has no influence. It's just like a puzzle. So in the next few days, I will see which puzzle fits me best. For me, it's certainly not bad to stay at PSV. We will see. So, leaving a few clues there. If we could work that out, what he's trying to say. He's like Mr. Riddler.
I was going to say, they can always get a job as a Riddler if he doesn't sign for United.
So we've got some newbies in here tonight. Omundi, you want to just a few, not a lot. Look, sorry, guys, if we don't read out all the comments.
Newbies, where you from? Tell us where you're from.
We've got SHAH saying Depay is Donny's page boy, because Donny's getting married, isn't he? Adesh is saying, I think Depay for now is good, but the level where United should be is not good enough. But by Barca in bad times, he was good. Jackie's saying, sure, I get Ronaldo leaving card from the Man United Agenda just in case. It's like a soap opera. Is he coming or is he going? Stuart Marshall doesn't think Gakpo will happen. Depay for 10 million, says Stuart Marshall. Sorry, my voice. Anthony Herbert saying, let them all play against Arsenal. We will destroy you. Mr. B knows that. Is that right, Mr. B? All we got is
we keep
Jackie
quiet.
Says, bath time, how are you? I feel the Pogba issue is related to toxic family issues. We know, I don't know if you heard all about that, but it's not a problem anymore. Kay, how you doing, Kay? Welcome to the Man United Agenda. He's saying yes to Depay. Anwar is saying De Jong's in London. I don't think it's for Donny's wedding. To be honest, by the way, I feel hurt to hear such bad news about the most reliable source being banned on YouTube. Something about Romano.
I heard that.
Paul Turney.
Something about that.
Paul Turney saying couldn't care less as to what they wear, so long as they play well. Hoping to sign Gakpo. So he wants a Gakpo. Obviously, we're going back to the famous Vincent, who seems to chime in and agree with me. Great insight.
He was pulling you out of mud. Come on, Elder.
Bath time saying I'll take Gakpo over the pie. Matthew Bassett saying Gakpo's been linked with Southampton and Everton. SHAH saying what's great about this window is the players have come in settled really well. Looking forwards, not backwards. The Man United Agenda, let's go. Matthew Bassett saying, Omundi, how much you paying Vincent? Shh, don't repeat that. Paul saying soon we will have a full Netherlands team with a pinch of Brazilian salt. Bath time saying if he can catch and pass, talking about the Grappa, I'd love to see him coming over De Gea. Rebel saying can't dislodge Pope at Newcastle. Dubravka will spend the season on bench and then soon be forgotten. So you heard it here first, guys. Stuart Marshall is saying Depay is a class act. If the deal is possible, then it's a no-brainer for me, especially if Ronaldo leaves. There's a couple really good ones here. So here we go.
Say hello?
So Dubravka, Jackie saying it's not good enough. Dubravka is not good enough to challenge my second son, which is De Gea. As we all know, Jackie loves De Gea. He's been brought in as cover only. Also, Rafa, please. Omundi, you're taking advice from him. So I'm getting roasted out here. Stuart Marshall saying Depay, this is class act, definitely for Ronaldo. We read that one. Depay again is set to meet Ten Hag in the next 24 hours, says HD Gamer. Bath Time saying you can't play a single pivot with De Gea in the team. If you can play it with a new goalkeeper, if we get a proper goalkeeper, proper possession team with a better goalkeeper. So there you go. I'm going to leave it there unless there's anyone else. Yes, I just want to say hi to Basil L. Hammer. How you doing, man? Welcome to the channel. He says buffering. Are we signing buffering? I don't know who he is, but
or maybe you're buffering.
Montreal MUFC saying, did you see Gary Neville's tweet with the video on the Santiago
Bernabeu?
That should be what Man United Old Trafford goes and does, you know. And D Miz Mob saying yes, lads. And finally, there's so many new people in there. Abibi, remember Bebe? Hey Bebe. Says Asensio, well, came to the United Old Trafford. Anyway.
Okay. So, guys, we are going to now talk about the two exit. Wan-Bissaka on loan, and then we're going to be talking about Ronaldo. So we hear the story now. Napoli wants Ronaldo. Wan-Bissaka leaving United. I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't think Wan-Bissaka is going anywhere at all. So that's me. Ronaldo's situation. I still think Ronaldo will be a Man United player at the end of this transfer window. Mr. B?
I do want Ronaldo. Look, I want Ronaldo to stay, but I think there's maybe an attitude change that needs to happen from him. I'm not in the dressing room, but we know Ronaldo is or believes that he's kingpin. So if something can be done where it can cause peace and harm, then I'll take him. But for the sake of the whole team and future development, if somebody's causing a headache, leave them, regardless of who it is. If it's Maguire, move him. If it's Ronaldo, move him. If it's Martial, move him. If it's Rashford, move him. I don't care. Just whoever's the headache is or the people who are causing the issues, just get them out of the club. Right now, we don't need all of the separation going on.
On Monday?
So you're talking about Wan-Bissaka. I'm going to go to Jackie. Jackie says Wan-Bissaka. I know it's debatable, but may as well stay at United, I hope. I think he should stay as well because we don't have to cover. I was watching QPR. They beat Watford, who Watford are sort of championship title challenges, I reckon. And they beat Watford 3-2 away at home. And Lerd was playing. Lerd, I think he got an assist as well. So let's keep an eye on him and all the other guys on loan. Especially now, we're really excited about what's going to happen in the future. We've seen Hannibal might be going on loan as well, but he's going to be signing a new contract as well, which suggests that he's got a long-term future at the club. Just at this right moment, maybe he's not ready. So Wan-Bissaka, I think, is worth keeping because we need that rotation, clearly. It's hard getting up and down as a fullback these days. The fullback's a tough position. These guys need to be super fit. And I think if anything happens with injuries, then we're always going to have an issue. Finally, I'm just going to go to Vincent again. Vincent saying Eric Ten Hag always gets player with a purpose and intent. If De Gea can't adjust to build up, he will use Dubravka over him if he's better. He did the same thing with bringing in an older keeper, Pasveer at Ajax. So there you go. That's the character of the man. Thanks again for wonderful insight into Dutch.
Hello, Vincent.
So the fight. What's the other guy? So we had
Wan-Bissaka, Ronaldo.
And Ronaldo. With Ronaldo, I think now we've got players maybe coming in. I think I'm more acceptable. I think I'm more accepting that he could leave. And if he does leave, I wish him well because there's a few issues I think there. I'm not going to give the source away, but I also have my ear to the ground. I'm not going to name names, but I spoke to someone who refereed a game recently with Ollie's son playing, and Ollie was there as well. And Ollie also said something about Ronaldo being maybe an issue at the football club.
Pat,
no names.
Over to you.
I'd like to think that Ronaldo's going to do a Jordan Belfort at the end of this transfer window and jump up on the table and shout, "I'm not fucking going anywhere." I don't want Ronaldo to go anywhere, even if it's just for one more season. I'd like him to stay. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it's just a conversation myself and Mr. B had before this. The amount of players that have come to Manchester United and started off bright and we've sucked the life out of them and he just turned to dust. I'm kind of hoping that Eric Ten Hag can revive Aaron Wan-Bissaka and bring back that player who nobody could get past him. And he'd be a good kind of squad player to bring on when you're trying to close up a game and you don't want anybody getting into that defense, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a good man to have in there. You're not going to bring him on to go up and run up the side of the pitch and get across him because he'll probably run off the pitch before he crosses the ball in. But I do like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I liked him when he first came, and hopefully if Eric Ten Hag sees something in him, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah. And our favourite is in the building as well, Mr. TTA. We shall be seeing you tomorrow night.
I bet he's buzzing right now.
Yeah.
But he's saying here, TalkSport are disgusting radio station, and Graham Souness is a complete and utter bleep, 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 bleep. What's he? Can you translate the bleeps for me, Mr. B? You're an expert. I did see the thing from Graham Souness about on TalkSport as well as with Simon.
He's dropped a couple of bloopers lately, Graham Souness. He needs to be a bit more careful what he's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, so
he said something about the female as well, didn't it? About football.
Nobody checks what he says. So at the end of the day, he'll keep talking. He'll still have people believing. And all they do is when we see them and we talk to them on the agenda, we just put them straight. It's no headache.
Yeah. 7 in the chat, guys. If you're new to the channel, just give us a subscribe. We have got a marathon of shows for you coming up. I think tomorrow night at 8:30 you can join us back here. We've got none other but this gentleman on the channel tomorrow night. Mr. Andy Tate will be with us tomorrow night at 8:30. Looking forward to hearing all about what happened with York 1-1 draw today. And then at 10 o'clock we have the eye test, so make sure you tune in for the eye test tomorrow night. I think tomorrow 8:30 could be me and Pat on at 8:30 tomorrow. I think. And then eye test is with Mr. on Monday and bath time. And throughout the rest of the week, guys, we have got lots to go, and we got a marathon of a transfer and watch along show to grit into as well. So another newbie as well on Monday. Just do it for us, please. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Obeyo.
Welcome.
Menga. I can't pronounce his surname. He said, how sure is Gakpo going to Man United? Did anyone want to answer that? I can't pronounce your name. Obi.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because we
I think if Ronaldo goes, he comes.
Yeah, somebody's going to come.
Yeah, I think if Ronaldo goes, he comes.
Yeah.
Right, we'll just give Miss Armando this one. That's that one. You can have that one.
Okay,
Monday.
So Blue Stripes is saying, hey guys, say hi. Welcome to the channel as well. Welcome Obi. It says, hey guys, how do you feel about James Garner rumours? We've been asked the question.
I want him to stay.
I want him to stay.
I want him to
stay as well.
We all do.
Yeah, we'll do. But guys, listen, Steve H coming late, so we'll just say hello, Steve.
He's just asking any news on Ronaldo going to Napoli. Yeah.
No idea yet. There's talks, but not sure yet. Sure, we get some sort of information. And I'm not sure, about.
Martial's always injured. I say Gakpo comes in regardless of Ronaldo's status. And Paul Tierney, man, big up for bigging us up earlier. I saw that. I saw you with eye test. He said, it seems everyone is a big fan of Abongnahor as a pundit. I don't know about that. Just quickly, who's your favourite pundit? Because I used to like Andy Gray. I thought Andy Gray had that passion and his commentary was really good. And he used to give like great Monday Night Football tactical analysis as well. I liked him a lot.
Mine is TalkMU.
Mine's TalkMU too. Yeah. TalkMU.
It's Roy Keane, because regardless of being a Man United fan, it's just no BS from him. That's all.
I want to say hi to Dale
Griffiths. Welcome, sir.
To the Man United agenda. We also like your likes as well. But big up, man. Thank you so much. He says, just want to say a massive thank you, gents. Had a real struggle mentally the last few weeks, days, and listening to yourselves gives me that escape. Thank you. Shall I repeat that?
You're welcome. Yeah.
Oh, guys.
Dale Griffiths, man. Salute to you, bro. He's saying, just want to say a massive thank you, gents. Had a real struggle mentally last few weeks, last few days, and listen to yourselves gives me an escape. Thank you. You have my sentiments, brother.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely
that is
brilliant.
a wonderful thing to say. There's no stigma. We're all struggling out here, and this is our good way of getting involved and involving people to help out with this cause as well, because we've all been there. And if you ever want to come and jump on with the Man United agenda and become a member, you can jump on with the show and just get even closer to this warm huddle that we have at the moment. So big up, man. Thank you.
Big up. Thank you. And Vincent, go on Monday. This is your pronunciation now.
Vincent Bollocks. Vincent Bullock. It's like Miss Bouquet and Bucket. I'm going to keep saying Bullocks, but it's Bullock. Sorry. How you doing, Vincent? Nice to see you.
Big up, Vincent.
Big up, Vincent. So, guys, we are going to sign off, but there's lots going on. Dale, listen, tune into the agenda anytime. We're all here. This is the reason why we come on here. Love talking about Manchester United. Even though we are called the agenda, there is no agenda whatsoever. Just a bunch of guys got together and love talking about the football club without any problems at all. Win, lose, or draw. That's it. Apart from Mr. B and talking and watch along.
I did say the other day that Pat would have my last bit of chicken, but sorry, Pat, I'm gonna have to give it to Dale now. You know, so Dale, if you ever come around to sit at my table, you can have that last fresh, juicy piece of chicken. Yeah. Sorry, Pat and Errol.
And we are a community, guys, and that's the best thing about this channel. It's anyone can actually physically come on the channel. We do allow people to come on, but obviously we have rules, and you got to abide by the rules of it as well. But listen, from us on the Mania Agenda, Solo, Mr. B, Omundi, and Pat, guys, would love to say as well, we are going to be doing a few surprises where we're all going to be together and talking football, which I'm looking forward to because I absolutely had a blast on Saturday with Pat and Omundi. It's a shame I didn't get to do any work with Paddy, but I'm sure I will see Paddy again to do a bit more work. But from us tonight, guys, make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing to the Man United Agenda, and we'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 p.m.
Just one more thing. I think, guys, just check us out, keep out for notifications and that kind of thing. Make sure you throw in some transfer news and message us. Let us know what's going on if you hear anything. And if we hear anything about our developments as a channel, any big developments are coming up, we will be sure to let you know as well. So stay tuned.
From us, good night, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you.